Hi children, good morning. So, do you all know me? Yes, I am Rekha Sajan, a faculty of MGM Central Public School, Trivandrum. And you know, I am here to teach you maths. Correct? So, we have been learning the first chapter and this is our which session? Yes, fifth session. So, till now we have learnt about how you read and write large numbers. Correct? So, you all know how to read and write large numbers. We have learned big numbers, crores, 10 crores. So, it becomes very easy for you right now to read. If anybody asks you, you are able to read, right? And also to write the numbers also? Yes, very good. So, now I welcome you all to the fifth session of our first chapter on numbers. Okay. So, here let us start with the international place value chart. You are all familiar with the Indian place value chart. Remember, I think that was our first session or the second session. So, what are the different places that you saw in our Indian place value chart? Can anybody tell me? Just recollect what you learnt in our Indian place value chart. Come on. Yes. What was the period? What was the places first? Let's see the places first. It was ones, then we had tens, then we had hundreds, then we had thousands, then we had 10,000, then we had lakhs, then we had 10 lakhs, then we had crores, and we had 10 crores. Correct? So that was the places in our Indian place value chart. And how was it divided? Yes, ones, tens and hundreds came under the which period? It came under the ones period. Then you saw tens, thousands and 10,000s. It came under the thousands period. Then you saw lakhs and 10 lakhs. It came under the lakhs period. Correct? And then you saw crores and 10 crores. It came under the crores period. So that was our Indian place value chart. Now, many countries internationally, they are following the international place value chart. So, let us see what is the difference between the Indian place value chart and our international place value chart. Okay. So, this is our international place value chart. So, here just like the Indian place value chart, we have ones, we have tens, we have hundreds, and also we have thousands, and we have the place 10,000s. But after 10,000, what do we see here? We see 100,000. And what was the place in Indian place value system after the 10,000? Yes, it was lakh. So there comes the difference. Correct? In the Indian place value chart, here instead of 100,000, you saw lakh. But here it is 100,000. And then it actually, there is more to it. But right now in your class 5, we stop here. Okay, you go to the next million places and all, you go later in your 6th grade. So, let us not talk about that. Let us just learn till our 100,000. Okay, so here in this topic, we are going to learn how you read and write numbers according to the Indian place value chart, and also when a number is given in the Indian form, how do you write it in an international form and vice versa. Okay, so all these things are what we are going to deal with in this topic. Okay, so here, and what are the periods? Again, just like the Indian place value chart, ones, tens and hundreds. These three places, they came under which period? Ones period. Even in the Indian place value chart also, it was similar. And next, you have your thousands, 10,000s and 100,000, it comes under the which period? It comes under the thousands period. And what do you see here? One more thing is, after every three places is where you put the comma. Understood? Whereas in an Indian place value chart, how was it? After the ones, tens and hundreds, you put a comma. Then again, then you had thousands period just had two places. So after your thousands and 10,000s, you used to put a comma. But here, how is it? After the 10,000s, after thousands, after 10,000s and after 100,000 is where you have to put a comma when the numbers become bigger. Okay. So for example, let's take an example. Suppose in your Indian system, you are writing the number is, okay, in an Indian system, we have this number. How do you read this number? This is, yes, write on the places. Let's just recap what all we learnt. Okay, ones, tens, hundreds, then you had your thousands, your 10,000s and your lakh. So how do we read this number? In an Indian system, you read it as 1,23,456. Correct. This is how you read it in a Indian place value system. This is how we read. The same number, when you read it in an international place value chart, according to the international place value chart, how do you read this? That is, you write this number 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, and then what do you see? You have your places exactly like that, ones, tens, hundreds, then you have your thousands, you have your 10,000, and what comes here? Here it comes 100,000. Then what do we learn? After every 3 places you put a comma. So after these 3 places you put a comma. Correct. Then how do you read this? I told you, how do you read it? You use the periods come after you read the number together. Whatever number is there inside the comma part, you read the number together and then you put the period name there. So just like that, these 3 numbers, they come together inside a particular comma. These 3 numbers, they come together because they come under the same period, that is thousands period. So what is this number? 1, 2, 3. It is 123, and after reading that number, you have to put the period's name. What is the period name there? 1000. So how do you read this? 123, then you put the period, name 123,000. It comes under the period 1000. So you write 123,000. Then next, how do you read the remaining numbers? 4, 5, 6. 456. So your 456. So what is this number in the international way? According to the international place value chart, how do you read this number? You read this number as 123,456. This is equivalent to our Indian value 1,23,456. So can you just tell me, in our Indian system, we say 1 lakh. So 1 lakh is equivalent to what value in the internationally, how much is 1 lakh? When you in foreign countries, you don't say lakh. They don't use this lakh. They have it as, how do they read it? They read it as, yes, they read it as 100,000. In India, we read it as 1 lakh, whereas outside India, that is internationally, 1 lakh is equivalent to 100,000. That is what we saw in this place value chart, in the international place value chart. So all the other things are exactly like what we have learnt before. That is, first you write the numbers accordingly, put the places accordingly to the international place value chart, and then put the commas correctly. In the Indian place value chart, how you used to put the commas? First 3 digits, ones, tens, hundreds, you used to put a comma. Then thousands, 10,000s, again you used to put a comma. Lakhs and 10 lakhs, again you used to put a comma, and crores and 10 crores. So that was our Indian system. Whereas here, what do you find? After your ones, tens, hundreds, you put a comma. Correct. Then you have your thousands, 10,000s and 100,000s. So only after that actually a comma comes. when the place value chart becomes bigger, because when you have million, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, the number becomes bigger. That is how you have it in your international place value chart. But here we are not dealing with any millions or anything here. You just have to learn till your 100,000. Okay, so isn't it easy? Very easy, right? So let's do an exercise based on this topic. Okay children, so let's do an exercise. Okay, so this is the first question. Write each of the following numbers in words using international place value system. So when you get a number like this, you have to write it in words. So what is the first step you do? Yes, write the places on the top. So ones, tens, hundreds, then you have your thousands, 10,000s and your 100,000. If you are very thorough with your place value chart, either it is Indian or international, you don't have to write the places on the top. Okay, but if you have any confusion, like I told you, if you have any confusion, please write the places on the top and only then write them in words, so that you will not make a mistake. Clear? So we have written the places on the top. Now what is the next step? Read the numbers that come under the same period together. So here 2, 3, 5, they come under the period 1000. Correct? So how do you read this number? 235,000. Okay, next, ones period. What is the number in ones period? In the 100 place you have nothing, it is 0. So, and in tens you have 1 and in ones you have 2. So what is this part? It is 12. So the full number is what? 235,012. See how easy it is? Correct. So write down 235,000. So a thousands period is over, so put a comma. 235,012. So that is your number. And be very careful while writing words. You have to learn the spellings. Very, very important. Every word you have to learn the spellings correctly. It is high time that you all know to write in words correctly without any mistake. Okay, the next. Tell me. I know many of you must have already told the answer. Correct? See how easy it is? Yeah. So let's do ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000 and your 100,000. So in this thousands period, what is the number? Correct, it is 400,001. Very good. So the answer is 400,000. 400,001. 400,000 is the thousands period. 400,001. See how easy it is? So your international place value system is actually much easier than our Indian place value. Correct? Don't you feel that? Here we have got very less. We can compare the numbers, three numbers together, you join and you start reading the numbers. But whereas in an Indian place value system, we have so many periods. So next, again, let's do ones, tens, hundreds. Then you have your thousands, your 10,000 and your 100,000. So what is this number? Yes, it is 620,087. Very good. So 620,087. 87. 87. Correct. Understood this part? Yes? So let's move on to the next question. Sure. Okay, now this is our second question. Rewrite the following numbers using international place value system. So here they have given you, the question is in Indian place value system, and you have to rewrite the number in the international place value system. So for such questions, what you do is, now see the numbers, it is given to you in words, correct? So first what you do is, read this and write the number in figure first. Then once you write it in figure, it becomes very easy to write the international form. See, for example, let's say the first question. 2,05,629. So how do you write it in figure? 2 lakh, comma, 5,000. So in the thousands period you have 0, 5. Correct. Then 629. So 629. Now this is the number in the Indian place value system form. You read this number in words and you have written it in figures. Now the same number you are going to write it in the international place value form. So what do you do? Write the number. First write down the digits. 205,629. And according to the international place value system, you know how do you put the commas? After every 3 digits. So 1, 2, 3, you put a comma. Correct. Now read. Now what is this number? Yes, 205,629. See how easy it becomes when you see this, and if you start writing, you just see this you just read this and you start writing into the international form. There are a lot of chances for you to make mistake. So don't do that. When you have the question in words, first change that in figures. Read this and change it into figures. And once you get the figure, put the correct commas according to the international place value system. Put the commas correctly and then you rewrite it in words. So what is the answer here? 205,000. Yes, 205,000. So your thousands period is over. The next is the ones period. You have, what is the number? 629. So 629. Isn't it easy? Yes? Okay, now let's go to the next question. Again here, 8 lakh 6,002 is your question. Write this in figures. 8 lakh. So you put 8 lakh. 6,000. So you write down 6,000 and 2. That means there is nothing in your hundreds place, there is nothing in your tens place, and you have 2 in your ones place. So this is your number. Correct. Now next you have to write it in the international place value system. So write the number first. 806,002. Put the commas correctly. So 3 places you put a comma. Now what is this number? Yes, 806,002. Very good. So it is 806,002. Understood? Do you want me to do more of these questions? Is this topic clear? Let's go. Let's move on to the next question. I hope it is clear to you. Very easy, right? International writing numbers in the international place value system, it is very, very easy than the Indian place value system. Don't you think so? Very easy it is. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. Okay, now this is your third question. Rewrite the following using the Indian place value system. So here what is given to you? It is given to you in the international place value system, and you have to rewrite this in the Indian place value system. So just like we did previously, first read this and write this number in figure. It is given to you in words. First write it in the figure. So 315,419. So how do you write the number? 315,419. So 419. Correct. This is how you write the number in the international place value system. Now they are asking you to rewrite this in the Indian place value system. So just like you did previously, what you do, first write down the numbers. 315,419. Then you know how to put the commas. Okay? 3 places here you put a comma. The next 2 places you put a comma. So how do you read this? Yes, it is 3,15,419. Very good. Then write down 3 lakh, put a comma, lakhs period is over. So 3,15,000. So 15,000. Again put a comma. 419. So your 419. See how easy it is? Yes or no? Okay, now go to the next question. 804,001. So first write down that number. 804,001. That means what? You have to put the zeros correctly. If you miss out on any zero, your whole number goes wrong. So be very careful when you are writing the numbers. Okay, so this is 804,001. Now this you have to again rewrite it in the Indian place value system. So write down the first, write down 804,001. Now put the commas according to your Indian place value system. So 3 places you put a comma. Next you have 2 places and you put a comma. So what is this number? Tell me, what is this number? Yes, 8 lakh. So it is 8 lakh 4,000 4,001. Correct. See, 8 lakh 4,001. Simple. Yes or no? Yes, it's very simple. So with this, we have finished the international place value system topic. So in this today's session, what all did you learn? You learned about your international place value system and you had a comparison with your Indian place value system. Yes, so I hope it is very clear to you. Now when you are doing the sums, just compare, always compare and study so that both the things comes to your mind very soon. Okay, don't confuse yourself. Learn the place value. The chart has to be very clear in your mind. So you have to be very careful when you rewrite. So just like I told you, if a number is given to you in words, what do you have to do? First read the number carefully, write it in a figure. Once you write the number in a figure, it becomes easier. Then put the commas correctly and write according to the correct place value system. Whatever they have asked according to the question, write it out. Okay, so I hope it is very clear to you. The session is very easy. So please do the things, and there are more questions in your exercise topic, and I want all of you to do the remaining sums also from your textbook. Okay, so until then, bye, take care, stay home, stay safe, till we meet in the next session. Bye.